Here's a quick metaphor, in fact, it's the perfect metaphor on how demons trick you to steal your consent. I'll almost say free will, but no, it's a different thing, okay? Let's say I have a kid, God forbid, right? That would be cruel to the kid, and I'm a really evil parent, and for some fucking reason, right? I'm a psychopath, and I want to hack their consent somehow. So I'm like, yo, listen, you have to choose right now. Like, there's no time. If you don't choose under 2 minutes, the world is going to explode, right? Let's say, just choose between left or right, or just make this choice, right? And I'm like pressuring him. He's like super confused by the event. His nervous system collapses. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. But I transmit the fear precisely, perfectly, right? Because I'm a good psychopath in this metaphor. And the kid's like, okay, well, I guess if I have to choose between those two, I'll choose, I don't know, right, or whatever the fuck I was making him choose between, right? It's just an analogy. You can see clearly in the example that no matter which of the two options he chose, I was basically getting him to do what I planned out for him to do. Yeah, maybe I had a preference for him choosing right, I don't know, when he chose left, sure, but you can clearly see that I chose the two options and then he, well, went along with them. Well, this is exactly what a demon does to the soul. This is why I chose the kid as an example, because I find kids to sort of represent the soul quite nicely. Someone's gonna say, no, the spirit, because they're free and they do. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's just words. Words are all made up, okay? I just think we should all be more like children and just go with our intuition all the time. That's all I'm fucking saying. So, what would be a real life example of this happening, and stealing someone's consent in current day life? For example, a very nice example that I've seen a lot happen is, let's just say, souls which are very sensitive and not for moral reasons, but they just don't resonate with the idea of, I don't know, having sex like on Tinder or even after a few dates, or like this type of new age. Again, not because of morals or shame, just because if the soul is really tuned inside, she or he knows, just doesn't resonate, just doesn't make sense. Now, if you were to be traumatized for 20 years because exactly you're very sensitive, right? I mean, you don't need to be sensitive to be traumatized in this world. You are going to be traumatized, but if you're sensitive, it's just going to be even more apparent, right? CPTSD, anyone? So this soul, in this example, and this is how it connects to the kid analogy, it doesn't really know that it doesn't resonate with casual sex. It doesn't know because she or him hasn't had the time to heal and slow down and get in tune with her or his nervous system. So he doesn't fucking know like what his nervous system is really telling him. He has developed all these addictions and like things to escape the uncomfortable feelings that he's feeling. So then, just like in the analogy with the kid, the demon comes and he's like, you have to choose right now, right? Because he is in an alert, traumatized state, right? The nervous system really never chills. The mind is peaking all the time. It never stops, right? This is trauma. It is trauma, by the way, yes. So the demon grabs the soul, the kid, right? And he's like, you have to choose. You have to choose between good and bad. Good is you have sex after a few dates with this man because, like, well, that's just like the conservative way to go about it, right? A few dates is just okay. It could be 10 dates, whatever. This is the good moral choice, right? And the bad evil choice would be having casual sex on Tinder. That's disgusting, right? You have to choose between these two right now. Just choose right now. Just choose right now. Just choose right now. And so it's like, okay, of course. I mean, from those two, like, I'm going to choose like the good one because I'm a good person, right? Like, whatever. Can you see how this is a fucking mental decision and it's not about energy or resonance at all? Or am I speaking Chinese right now? Because there's no time for the soul to calm the fuck down, even though calm etymologically connects to the word burning in flames, literally, so let's use a different word. Even if the soul doesn't have the time to slow down and really pay attention to the nervous system, maybe if she could have had the time to do that, she could have figured out, let's call it for now, a third option, even though I fucking hate the number 3. And this third option, my friend, which is not a third option really, but let's put it that way for illustrative purposes for now, then I'll clarify, is not an option. Because it's about slowing down, aligning the energies, right? You're like chilling for 5 hours straight in silence in your bathtub. no interaction, no phone, right? Then your body is going to start transmitting a very subtle signal, after it takes 5 hours, not because the design was, that difficult, but rather because we're like all pretty much poisoned, right? Like, this is why it's so difficult. And then this signal, you don't really choose the signal, right? Like, I don't choose exactly like what movement I'm going to make with my hand right now as I speak. It's just sort of happening, right? You're flowing. Now, there's a difference between flowing when your energies are all combobulated, like convulsing, like erratic. They're not aligned. You haven't been chilling with no thoughts for 5 hours in the bathtub. So you're sort of like, you become some sort of victim to these energies, and they make you choose. Just choose A or B, left or right, do. So exactly like the example with the kid, the kid was not going to do neither of the two options that I, as an evil psychopath parent, was offering him if I hadn't pressured him, right? He was going to go about his day. And now you can clearly see that a kid, they don't think that much, they just flow, right? And now is where it comes the explanation of why it's not even a third option, really. And this is how they hack your consent, correct? Because let's say if I hadn't pressured as an evil parent this kid into choosing between A or B, or left or right, or whatever the hell I was doing, let's say he was going to just go up long, just continue with his day, right? And now it should be crystal clear to you that whatever he was going to do next, he's a kid, was a non-choice. It was going to arise naturally. Just think about it. I mean, the kids, they don't even know how to speak. They don't have a language for a big time, at least, right? So whatever choice they do, it's not even choice. It's just happening automatically. He feels like going to the park, right? But he didn't choose to feel to go to the park. It just happened. Now, if you were to choose between two options, that is a mental decision. And may I add again that the etymology for the word decision is to cut. Yeah, because you cut the soul into two pieces, my friend. Isn't it crystal clear to you? A non-choice, which is closer to the soul, or the soul, if done right, because the ego could use it and be like, no, I don't choose, it's just happening, and they just use it to justify doing stupid shit. And I've been there, my friends. I have been so very retarded my entire life. People get so caught up in their options and decisions that they never even ponder about the soul. They're like, sending my kid to private school is a good thing, and public school is a bad thing for some reason by contrast. And I should choose between these two options, and maybe they should have asked their kid, maybe he specifically, because his soul is like different or whatever, like, yeah, they're all different, I know, but you know what I'm saying, like sensitive. He could have chosen to be homeschooled. I don't know, that's not a fucking thing in my country. I'm just like thinking of any third option, right? But they can't see past duality, right? This is why people, I guess, go both still, right? Left or right? Which one should I give my consent to? And of course, yeah, it is, as you might know, two sides of the same coin. Should I even say that? Like, is it necessary at this point? Man, I despise... This place is messed up. I mean, I feel good right now, but I'm just saying, like, hopefully you've got something out of this video. The bottom line is just pay more attention to how you feel, and you'll realize you don't choose how you feel, it just happens. But if you're doing everything wrong in your life, again, I'm not judging, I've been there, I mean, it's so hard to do things right? Then just know that that energy is sort of building up in your astral plane type of thing, and it is sort of causing you to make the wrong decisions, which is all of them. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's put a specific example, okay? Because I don't want to, like, leave you wondering. I saw this one happen in real time, so it's a very interesting example for me. Say someone wasn't feeling like seeing their parents that day specifically, right? And then suddenly she receives a text from her mom, right? And they speak for 2 minutes over chat, and then she's like, maybe I should just like see my mom, right? And knowingly, she's about to operate from guilt. The thing is, she doesn't have the chance to find out its guilt if she goes with the flow a little too much and decides right on the spot. But what if, hypothetically, she meditates for 30 minutes, right? And then she starts pondering, wait a second, I wasn't really feeling like seeing my parents today before I talked to her, and then suddenly she speaks with me, and I get like this rush of adrenaline, almost like I need to see her. That sounds like some program from my childhood that got activated. Perhaps I felt guilty about disappointing her and do a little self introspection, right? And I'm not saying that is always going to be the case, but hypothetically, she discovers, oh, wait a second, I almost go do something that I didn't want to do because I started deciding between yes and no in the moment, and the energy chose yes, but it was the combobulated, going crazy energy and not the stable, aligned, after meditating energy. So I almost got hacked by the energies instead of, to put it somehow, because you are the soul, right? Asking my soul, okay, that's as good as I can explain it. I will see you soon. Check out my singing academy if you want. I don't have the spiritual academy yet. The energies haven't done it. I don't fucking know.